our next installment in our series, Deep Talks, where we try to tackle some difficult, deeper subjects that people wonder about. And we have another one this week. The question is this, why does God seem so concerned to ruin all my fun? I mean, why does he have all these rules that he expects me to live by? Well, let me answer that in a couple different ways. The first one is, just take a casual look around. Read the newspaper. Look at the news today. Look at the mess we have in the world. Look at how many marriages end up in divorce. Look at how many children end up being raised without a mother or a father. Look at the number of drunk driving accidents, the number of lives that are absolutely ruined by drug addiction. And let me ask a question. Having fun yet? The things that the Bible talks about, that the church has talked about, is not to spoil fun, but to provide maybe some guardrails and safeguards to keep us away from things that would harm us. You know, when I was growing up, I had about 4 or 5 close friends. And oddly enough, by the time I was 19, 2 of those 5 good friends were dead. One was just simply walking on a sidewalk at his college to eat dinner, and a drunk driver ran off the road and ran him down on the sidewalk. Another friend was the person behind the wheel, having had too many drinks, and decided he'd try to beat a train across the tracks to get home, and it was a tie. And so we find ourselves in a place where a lot of these things that we want to do and desire to do and think it's all right to do end up coming back around and hurting us in the long run. That's one answer. The second answer is this. The Bible rarely talks about things from the same perspective that we do. For instance, most of the time when we talk about what we want to do, we're talking about it from a perspective of my individual rights. Who are you to tell me what I can do and what I can't do, and it's up to me to decide? And you know what? There's nothing in the Bible to challenge that presupposition. It is up to you to decide. And you can do what you decide to do. But don't think you can do it without penalty or without consequences. The Bible rarely talks to us about things from an individual rights perspective. It talks about it from a collective perspective. What things make a community, make a group of people flourish? What makes them thrive? And what might diminish life? So when the Bible talks about things, when church talks about things that probably aren't a good idea to do, it's not talking about it from a perspective of trying to convince you it's not your right to do it. It's trying to say, you know what? From the perspective of experience and wisdom and scripture and reason, these things will end up diminishing life, degrading your experiences, tearing apart the fabric of relationships. So if you want to thrive, if you want to flourish, if your family wants to flourish, we think these things are best to be avoided. Again, if you want to do whatever you want to do, there's nothing challenging your ability to do it, other than it might not be as smart or might not be as profitable as you think it is. Oddly enough, it's not the perspective of the Bible or the church for people to do whatever they want to do, or it's not even the perspective to make people happy. We're after making people holy and making people good. And sometimes the things we want to do might degrade those goals. And our goals are not the goals that exist out there in culture. That's just the way it is. I would encourage you to pursue goodness, pursue holiness. I think in the long run, you'll have more joy. And in the long run, you'll flourish a lot more. Your family as well. That's why Scripture and the church take some positions that we do. It has nothing to do with your right. It has everything to do with what you might flourish doing. Anyway, thanks for joining us. Like us, subscribe. That way you'll be notified when the next one's coming up as we talk about another deep topic in a future week. Have a wonderful week.